What's up? Josh Cuevas with Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR.
The mix of salty sea air and burnt rubber. The big skies, high banks, and grandstands. The rumble in your chest. That's what we love about the Daytona 500. Honoring history and making it. At the biggest race of the year on the biggest stage of a lifetime. That's what we love about the Daytona 500. You gotta see it to believe it. Secure your experience now at Daytona500.com.
Roll Tide, Happy New Year, and welcome to Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. This is Roger Hoover. Great to be with you today inside our podcast studio at the LLH Healthcare Advantage Center inside Saban Field at Bryant-Denny Stadium. We're going to be very busy in this room over the next few weeks, bringing you interviews with Crimson Tide student athletes, especially some basketball, gymnastics student athletes over the next couple of months before we get into baseball and softball, even think about football as well. But we're excited to share those conversations coming up on future episodes of Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR, including today. We will begin the show by taking a look at our headlines for today, plus what's coming up on the show thanks to our friends RJ Young. RJ Young is the official technology solutions provider of Crimson Drive. Let's see what's coming up on the show this Tuesday afternoon. Well, first of all, in this room, we'll be joined by London Jemison of the Alabama men's basketball team, off to a tremendous start as a true freshman for the Crimson Tide, even helping Alabama to a win against Kentucky in men's basketball over the weekend. And then the women's basketball team picked up a win on Sunday as well against Arkansas. We had the booth cam running for both of those ball games presented by NASCAR, so we'll have our basketball booth cam highlights taking you inside all the fun live streams we've had for Alabama men's and women's basketball. And then we'll round out the show by hearing from the head coach of the Crimson Tide, Nate Oats, with our Hey Coach replay as he joined Chris Stewart last night at Baumhauer's Victory Grill in Tuscaloosa to break down the Kentucky win and look ahead to what's next. Speaking of men's basketball, again, a very impressive win, 89-74 against the Kentucky Wildcats this past Saturday. With that, 4 straight wins against Kentucky. That is the first time that has ever happened for Alabama against Kentucky in men's basketball. So a great stretch for Alabama, but now the road in the SEC gets a little bit tougher as Alabama goes on the road for the first time in conference play, coming up on Wednesday night at number 11 Vanderbilt. Yes, the Commodores, under the second-year direction of Mark Byington, had a tremendous non-conference schedule, and now it'll be Alabama against Vanderbilt, 8 p.m. on Wednesday night. Our coverage from Memorial Gym will start at 7 o'clock across the network. I mentioned Vanderbilt, the number 11 ranked team in the country. Alabama checks in at number 13 in the AP poll. For the Alabama women's basketball team, New Year's Day started with a loss, the first of the year, to South Carolina, the third-ranked team in the country, but we saw a great bounce-back win for Alabama on Sunday and a dominant effort, 77-48 against the Arkansas Razorbacks. Even though Alabama's won 3 in a row against Arkansas, this is the first time the Crimson Tide have posted a win against the Razorbacks in Tuscaloosa since all the way back in 2006. So a great moment for Alabama getting that win against Arkansas. Now this week, the Crimson Tide will stay at home at Coleman Coliseum. On Thursday, it'll be Alabama against number 6 Kentucky. Just had a great buzzer beater to beat LSU last week. Now it's Kentucky and Alabama on Thursday night at 6 p.m. Join us as well. Make sure you're there early at Coleman Coliseum for Big Al's bobblehead night. Should be a lot of fun seeing those bobbleheads in the building, and a great giveaway from our friends at Athletics Marketing. So look forward to that coming up, part of Alabama women's basketball. Final notes around Crimson Tide athletics for today's show. The football team, of course, last week saw its journey in this 2025 season come to a close to Indiana at the Rose Bowl as the Hoosiers move on to the college football playoff semifinals. But great to see Alabama football back in the college football playoff, especially that win in the first round against Oklahoma and making it to the Rose Bowl for the second time in the last 3 years. So keep it locked on to RollTide.com for any changes coming to Alabama football over the next few very busy weeks. We'll still have the second signing day period coming up in February, as well as it's a busy time for Kalen DeBoer and the Crimson Tide coaching staff. Gymnastics, it's time to start the season for Ashley Johnston and the Crimson Tide gymnastics team. They will get going on Friday night against the Clemson Tigers, 6 p.m. Alabama will be on the road at Clemson before being at home in Tuscaloosa coming up next week. More tickets available at RolledTide.com, along with more information for gymnastics. And then just before the Christmas holiday, the baseball season was officially announced, the schedule announced from Rob Vaughn and the Crimson Tide baseball team. The season will begin on February 13th. Some really fun home matchups coming up all throughout the season. Full schedule available, RolledTide.com. Yes, baseball and softball just around the corner as we get into the new year of 2026. One of the fun new faces on Nate Oats' men's basketball team for this season is London Jemison. He's made an impact right away, helping the Crimson Tide backcourt, front courts all throughout this season. He joins us to talk about his journey from Connecticut to Alabama and what it means to him to be part of this program here in Tuscaloosa. Welcome back to Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. This is Roger Hoover here with you at the LLH Healthcare Advantage Center podcast studio. Please be joined by Crimson Tide freshman London Jemison, enjoying the start of SEC play here in the 2025-2026 season. And London, roll Tide, man. It's great to see you. How's everything going?
Roll Tide. Everything's going good.
How have you enjoyed this freshman year? What's that transition like from high school basketball to where you are now, college basketball?
Yeah, I love it here. Just the transition has been great. I mean, the summer, just ups and downs, just being a freshman, just physicality, just learning how to play. But it's definitely been great. Coaches and my older teammates just helped me through the process, so it's been great.
Yeah, it seems like the summer with all you guys practiced, that really helped you. So when the games came around in November and December, it wasn't the tough transition maybe you thought it'd be?
I mean, it definitely was tough, but I just feel like the preparation we put in, it just made it easier for sure.
And how hard does this team go in practice?
We go super hard, super hard.
Was that an adjustment too from your high school days or anything?
Definitely. I mean, my school, shout out Jerry Quinn, we play hard, but this is definitely a little different, definitely, for sure.
And I'm sure you've seen it pay off in the ball games as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
What were some of the games early on you feel like you got some opportunities to play and maybe got you even more playing opportunities?
Mm-hmm. Earlier on, just getting used to just the college physicality. It just, just me keep playing and just keep staying positive. It just helped me throughout the whole season so far.
And Nate Oats has said he wants to play guys that are going to rebound the basketball. Do you feel like that was one of the ways that helped got you on the floor early?
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely was a big point of emphasis for our whole team. But for me, just, being active on the glass, just using my length. So, yeah, that's definitely what I try to use to my benefit.
Yeah, that's paid off for Alabama. It seemed like especially that Las Vegas trip, you were able to get some more playing time, more opportunities. So what do you feel like you did best out there?
I'd say just being active and staying positive, early, maybe minutes wasn't like how I wanted it to be, but, just staying positive, just being happy from all my teammates, and then going out there with the right mindset, and then it just paid off, just, playing hard.
What do you feel like your role is on this team?
My role is just to play hard, make the, blue-collar plays, hit open shots, just crashing, just doing anything, just being a versatile wing for the team, just doing anything that we need.
You got to know Nate Oats throughout the recruiting process. Of course, all throughout that time, he's trying to be your best friend, make sure he knows that Alabama's the best spot for you. Mm-hmm. What's it like once he makes that transition to being your coach and trying to coach you hard and prepare you to play basketball?
It definitely was a great transition because I knew, Coach Oats, every coach, he was just very straightforward with everything. He's very honest in the recruiting process. He's going to tell you what you need to work on. He's going to tell you what you're great at. And he just kept it honest, and transition's been great. He hasn't changed from, the way I like him. I love Coach Oats, so he's definitely been just a great coach.
That's good to hear. Not surprising at all. How about Preston Murphy? How long have you known him, first of all?
I knew Preston for a while. He worked on Expressions, my AU team, grassroots team. So it's probably been, let's say, around 4 years, but we got closer later in my AU years. So we've been close for around 2 or 3 years.
And that's really cool to see that connection pay off here. We've seen some other guys as well have a long-standing relationship with Preston. Is it fun to be reunited at Alabama?
It definitely is fun. Just, especially having Preston around, it just made me more comfortable. But it's just family vibe over here, so love it.
That's awesome. So you got to know him when you were younger. Tell us about growing up and starting to play basketball, and tell us where you're from, first of all.
I'm from Bloomfield, Connecticut. Growing up playing basketball was my brothers. All my brothers play. I got 3 brothers, and then my neighbors always came over to my house. Everybody used to come to my house to play basketball outside, and I just saw how they just love competing, and it just grew on me. And then my brother, every team he would go on, I would go on, just playing, just keep playing. I wasn't as good at first, so it was tough. And then just keep playing. Then I got to Expressions and saw what the physicalities college and it just kept building and getting better. And my love for the game just kept growing.
Pretty competitive, all you and your brothers?
Yeah, definitely. A lot of arguments, fights. Yeah.
Some intense games out.
Yeah, for sure.
That's really cool. How did you enjoy getting into the recruiting process and getting more attention on you and ultimately deciding Alabama was the pick?
I definitely loved it. Just the hard work was paying off. My grassroots coach, Coach Todd, just kept telling me to keep working because early my recruitment wasn't as high as I wanted it to be. But just staying in the gym and then Expressions giving me the opportunity to show what I could do on the circuit. So it just kept growing and growing. and it just gave me the opportunity to play at a great school like Alabama.
I understand you had some even Ivy League offers, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you were pretty solid in the classroom
Yeah,
along
for
with
sure.
basketball because you got to have both for that.
For sure. Now, my mom, most important for her is academics. So she just made sure I was always on my 10, all my grades, making sure got my studying in, homework, extra work. So, yeah.
That's really good. And then I read an article, I believe one of your high school coaches said just every time Alabama's name came up, you kind of perked up or just were like a little more excited than when you talked about any other schools. Why was that? What stood out about it?
Play style for sure. Obviously pressing the connection we had, and then I just like how hard everybody play over here and just play like a team. So just watching that, it just definitely just made me more excited about Alabama. Sure.
Had you ever been here before a visit or anything like that?
I have, because I got a lot of family like near Birmingham, so I've been here like just around campus, but I never like been in the facilities, even been to a football game before a visit. And then seeing the football game, seeing just all the love that we get from the fans, it was just I just knew this was the spot.
Have your Birmingham family really enjoyed getting to watch you play a lot?
Yeah, they was actually just at the Kentucky game. Yeah, they love coming to the games. I just love the support, from everybody.
That's really cool. So a great moment for you. You get to decide on Alabama's going to be your college choice. How about the rest of this freshman class? Because you guys made a huge impact so far this year.
The freshman class, especially freshmen we got, everybody's just, doing pretty good. Freshmen, Mari, everybody just playing really well. So, yeah, we got a lot of great young guys out here.
A pretty good bond with all of you guys, too?
Not yet, for sure. Great bond, for sure.
That's awesome. And then you get to be surrounded by some really good players who have played in the SEC before, kind of know what it's like. What's it been like getting to play with guys like LeBaron Philon Jr., Aiden Holloway?
It's been great. They're great leaders. Just, if your shot's not falling, they're going to pick you up. But if you're, on the other hand, if you're not doing your job, they're going to just let you know, keep doing what you're doing. But they've been great. Like, even like Houston, Trelly, the older guys that's been in college for a few years, like, they just make sure like everybody's positive and playing hard. So it's just great. Everybody just very close on our team. So I feel like it just makes it easier for all of us.
And then speaking of being close on your team, working closely together, Amanda with all the nutrition, Henry with the strength work,
Yeah.
Clark, your athletic trainer. I mean, do you feel bigger, faster, stronger that you've been here?
Nah, definitely. I've definitely, a lot of work with Clark, Henry, and then Miss Amanda just getting me some, weight on, because in high school it was hard for me to gain weight. So, yeah, it's just been great. I just feel like from the staff to the managers, everything, everybody just works great together, and it helps out a lot. It shows on the court.
Are you guys proud of the fact, too, that so far throughout this season, the first couple months, we haven't really seen this team fully healthy, really maybe one game this year, Arizona, that's been about it. But you guys have still maintained your high level of play no matter who's available.
No, yeah, that's the thing about us. We're probably the deepest team in the country, from every last person. Everybody can contribute in some way, shape, or form. So I just feel like that's very important. And I feel like our practices, how hard we compete in practice, is really why we're so depth. Like, everybody's confident. So anybody's ready to step up at any moment.
I mentioned the trip to Las Vegas for the players there. That's definitely special. But how about some road games against Illinois, in Chicago, at the United Center, and then Madison Square Garden to take on St. John's? I mean, does it blow your mind? Your second college game here in Madison Square Garden. Does that blow your mind?
Nah, definitely. It was just great playing in that, historical arena. It definitely just, like, even in the practice, it just, you could feel the aura and, like, shoot around. So, yeah, it definitely just was great to play in that arena for sure.
Yeah, MSG, probably about as close to home as you'll get
Yeah,
this year. So
definitely.
did you have a lot of friends and family for that one?
Yeah, I had a lot of friends and family come out there. Even my best friends, they actually got to see, me play, so that was great.
That's really good. As you get ready for what's coming up, the SEC play, what should fans know about you and what you're going to bring to this team and what they can expect also from this team overall?
Fans should know about this team first. I feel like we come in every single game. We're just going to bring the fight. We're just going to, we're definitely going to make shots for sure, make threes, but we're just going to play hard and just try to win every possession, importantly. And for me, I'm going to just bring my hardest every game, do the little things, dive on the floor, pick my teammate up, like, just do everything, That's definitely what they can see.
Get those blue-collar points.
Yeah, for sure. That's the only stat we chasing out here, for sure.
That's right. So you want to lead the team in hard hats from here on out.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, everybody do, but, yeah, for sure. That's big.
Well, that's exciting. Well, Len and Jemison, we're thrilled you're part of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Just thank you for the time you've given us here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. All the best. Roll Tide.
For sure. Appreciate you. Roll Tide.
Hi, my name is Jumpy Bernard here on Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR.
Great moments from London Jemison this past game against Kentucky. We've been saying that about him his entire freshman year, but that was a really fun day at Coleman Coliseum on Saturday as Alabama got the win against Kentucky. And then on Sunday, the Crimson Tide women's basketball team earning a win against Arkansas in Tuscaloosa. We had the basketball booth cam up and running for both men's and women's basketball. Chris Stewart, Brian Passink on the call for the men's game. Gray Robertson on the women's game for us. And we had the booth cam always streaming live thanks to our friends at NASCAR here on all of our social media platforms. Especially if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit subscribe so you won't miss future booth cams coming up, including on Thursday for the women's game against Kentucky, and then the men's game coming up on Saturday against Texas. But for a little sample of what it was like over the weekend at Coleman Coliseum, we watch our basketball booth cam highlights presented by NASCAR.
They'll head to center court. The ball goes in the air, and the tap is controlled in the backcourt to our right by Kentucky. LeBaron trying to move against Chandler. Cut off at the elbow. Needs help. Flips it over to Allen. Catch and shoot. 3, and we're tied at 5. Bank first. 3-pointer, the first of the game for Alabama.
Great start by Amari Allen, the freshman, one of the best in the country.
Amari flipping it over to Houston. Left alone. Spots up. 3. Bop. Silky smooth. Let the defenders go by. Said, all right, leave me alone. I'll knock down the bank first 3-pointer. Is shot clock down to 8. Holloway. 3. Bottom. Jemison, nice look in traffic to Bristow. Beautiful kick out. Reitzel, 3, bottom. Aiden, shake and bake move, looking to his left, keeps the dribble alive. Goes left, gets cut off by Mo, drives right, goes underneath, fires the pass to Sherrill. Good catch in traffic. Millette, 3, bottom.
What a pass by Aiden Sherrill. Alabama's interior players doing a good job of finding open teammates from the perimeter, and Alabama already with 5 made threes here in the first half.
Phylon on the lob to Sherrill, who tried to throw it down. He does, and he is fouled. Holloway over to Jemison for 3, bottom. London Jemison knocking it down. Holloway with it. Lets it fly from deep, bottom.
What a quick release. Looked like he was going to pass it off and rose up and knocks down Alabama's 7th 3 in the first half.
Missed the second. Rebound fought for, and Williamson's able to take it away for the Tide. Noah, nice hustle play as now the Tide up 16 has the ball with Holloway circling away from trouble. Gets underneath the basket. Kicks it to Millette. 3. Oh, man, is he red. Smoking hot. Timeout, Kentucky. Noah will pivot, hand it off to Millette. Catch and shoot 3. Man, he has come to play today. Houston Millette with 14 first half points. Holloway with it, working top of the arc. Lets it fly. Bottom. LeBaron trying to weave through traffic. Kicks it over right side. Allen for 3. Bottom. Noah will go with a bounce pass to Holloway. 3. Bottom. That's a great way to start. Out of that timeout.
That will solve some problems.
That will indeed. Get it to a great shooter. Millette to Williamson. Thought about a 3. Will drive to the lane. Reverse layup is good for 2.
Who is that guy? The head fake, the dribble drive, hanging in the air, and gets the reverse to go down.
Allen for 3, near side, bottom in the face of Diabate. Aiden with it, steps back, 3 again, makes it again. It's his world, we're just living in it today. 22 for Aiden Holloway. Noah on the drive, spinning, scoring with the left hand. Noah Williamson, a factor on the inside for the Crimson Tide today.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is the former Patriot League Player of the Year, playing well here at home against the Cats.
Here's Phylon right side, trying to shake free, gets into the lane, puts it up, scores with the left hand. As he left Oway wondering where he went to Holloway. 3:35 to go. Holloway, a deep 3, bottom. Mercy from 30 feet out, dead on. Holloway with 25, and Bama leads it by 14. Phylon, a bounce pass to Williamson, who throws it home for 2 more. He is in double figures, now with 10 to go with his 4 rebounds. The rebound is tipped out, run down by Reitzel, and the final 5 seconds are going to tick away. Alabama's going to get the win and strike up the band. straight over the Kentucky Wildcats for Nate Oats, Alabama Crimson Tide. 89-74, your final here today at Coleman Coliseum.
Set to tip it off here in Tuscaloosa. It is won by Alabama and controlled by Diana Collins. Here she comes into the front court, off and running here in Tuscaloosa. Give left side to Collins. Timmons flashes instead, back up top to Carly. Weathers for three. Scott around a Jones screen, will stop and pull up for three and hit. Oh, that possession had disaster written all over it, and Tamia Scott said, I'll take care of it, don't worry. Got double teamed as Rodriguez came to help. Now up top to Jennings for three, and Waiata has her first triple of the season. The Baylor transfer knocks it home. It's 18-14 Alabama. Out to Rodriguez, who almost had it stolen. Now it's loose and picked up by Austin. To Collins, great hustle by the Crimson Tide. Now Collins in transition, layup good. Ace driving baseline, give Jennings left corner, three, rattles home. She gives a little look to the fans on that side as the quarter ends. A 10-0 run by the Tide in the last 2 minutes and 1 second. Timmons driving with the right hand. Kick out Weathers, swing, left side. It's Scott for three again. Nothing but nylon for Tamia. 11 points here in the first half. 33-16 Alabama. Shot clock is 6 to a cutting Weathers. Oh, what a touch pass to Collins in the corner. Creativity, inventiveness, and a three for Diana Collins. No cut for Collins. Instead, it's Cody at the top of the arc for three. Swing right side. It's Timmons for three, and that hit every part of the rim and went down. Weathers has it. Oh, wide open over to Scott for three in the corner. That is her spot, folks. Don't let Tamia get the ball over there. She'll make you pay. 55-30. 7:06 left in the third. 14 for Tamia Scott. Collins kicks Jennings right side. She'll drive. What a take. Waiata Jennings with the left hand. That was nice. 64-35. Looking for the old quick shot. It's Weathers from the corner, and Alabama has exploded in the left corner. She'll get back to the top of the arc and try and attack with the right hand, and her shot is stuffed by Naomi Jones. Naomi Jones said, I have had enough of you. You are not getting another bucket on this right side. Austin will drive, stop, kick to Silva Costa. Left corner, three is perfect. That is how you do it. Signed, sealed, delivered, Lourdes. And Jennings will dribble it out. As the final 10 seconds tick off, Alabama absolutely responds the right way. A dominant victory in conference play here at home, 77-48 over Arkansas to get back on the right track.
Last night, Hey Coach and the Nate Oats Show started our week of programming here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. It's live each and every Monday at 6 p.m. from Baumhower's Victory Grill in Tuscaloosa. Christy Curry joined Nate Oats as well as Chris Stewart hosting the program at Baumhower's. We'll be talking with Christy Curry coming up on our Thursday edition of Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. But right now, we wanted to hear from the head coach of the Crimson Tide men's basketball team, Nate Oats, as he and Chris Stewart talked about the Kentucky win, look ahead to Vanderbilt. Here's a Hey Coach replay from last night.
Great to be talking to you after another victory in conference play. Congratulations on the win against Kentucky Wildcats here recently.
Yeah, it's always good to beat Kentucky. They got some talent. They got a lot of talent over there, but thought our guys did a better job kind of executing the game plan. Thought we came out ready to go. I liked our first half, how we came out of the gate. I thought. I didn't like how we came out in the second half. We got to fix that. But, to build up a 15-point lead at the half on them, we were up 21 with not that much to go in the half. It would have been nice for you to close the half a little better and then start the second half. But, it's a good win. I mean, Kentucky's Kentucky. They're not as good as what everybody thought they were going to be this year. It's still Kentucky, and they still got a lot of talent over there.
You got a guy sitting here with us on stage that is a big reason why you're able to win that game and have had the success that you've had this year, Amari Allen. Tell me about what this young man has done to allow himself to be such an impact player from the get-go.
I mean, I think the biggest thing is he's just ultra competitive. Like he doesn't want to lose. I mean, from the first week he stepped on campus, he's got an edge to him, which is most of the time it's good. Every once in a blue moon it go over the edge a little bit, but I don't mind that a little bit if we get the competitive side out. So, he's got great size, athleticism. He's worked his tail off to be super skilled. I mean, he's 6'7", 6'8" combo guard that we can play 1 through 4, and he's rebounds it well. We pretty much started him at the 4 last game, and he can guard 1 through 4, play 1 through 4 on offense. How we play, there's not a big difference most of the time. So, he's super versatile, really tough, competitive, and he's got pretty high IQ too. So he's got a lot going for him. No, we don't win the game without Noah. I mean, he's a great kid. He played really well at Bucknell, player of the year in the Patriot League, and that's a pretty good league. Average 18 a game. Hasn't really gotten comfortable for whatever reason. The athleticism, whatever it is, but. I think he actually went home to Latvia on our break, our Christmas break. It wasn't like we had that long a break. We had 4 days off. He went home, came back, and really I felt like he was rejuvenated. He's bouncing around. Didn't feel like there was any kind of jet lag. He's more athletic. And I said, man, we got looking a little athletic. He said, SEC coach, ready for the SEC. So he's, and he was, man, shoot. Aiden Shrell went down, a few weeks ago. If Aiden Shrell would have gone down, nobody would have given us a chance to beat any of these good teams, just with how well he played and kind of the state of the rest of our front court. And Shrell went down, and Noah picked up, right where we needed to. I mean, she was second highest on the team in plus minus. And Holloway was great. Holloway had plus 20, but, Noah was plus 15. So, and he was the second highest on the team. So I think he played great. We needed him to play great. He's got his confidence going now. Hopefully he can continue to roll with that. It was the rebounds. That one, probably my favorite play of the game was the offensive rebound he got at the free throw line. He kicked it out. We swung it around. He ends up being the guy that screens, and we get a wide open shot in the corner and they nail a 3 off it. So he played great. I'm really happy for him. We need him to continue to play well because Aiden didn't practice today. He's going to be a true game time decision. I don't know that he'll practice tomorrow, but he's in rehab and hopefully he keeps coming. If he can't go on Wednesday against Vandy, we're going to have Noah step up and play great for us.
Let's talk about Vanderbilt because that is the next opponent. It's a team that's undefeated, Coach, playing really well. Obviously, I know they haven't been tested to the degree that your squad has been, but they faced some good opponents, and going on the road and winning at South Carolina was a big way for them to start conference play.
No, they're good. I mean, you go to all the analytics sites, they're the best team in our league right now. Got a top 20 offense and top 10 offense, top 20 defense. They're well coached. They're fundamentally sound. They've got shooting. Tanner's in play for player of the year in the conference. Miles, kid from Alabama originally, is their leading scorer. They play a pretty modern style basketball with the floor spread. The lane's open. So they drive, you collapse on them, they're spraying it to shooters. In some regards, similar to us, they play, they play a little different, but the paint's open, they're trying to play fast. They take a good amount of threes, and they got great guard play, and their bigs are good too. Their bigs can all shoot threes and stretch the floor out on you. So they're going to give us everything we can handle, and that's a different place to play up there. So we're going to have to come ready to play.
How much does it help, though, to have played who and what you've played and where you've played? Because there are years where we would have gone into a game like this at Vandy, and granted the venue's a little different, but the competition level, while incredibly good, it's certainly not something that's foreign to your squad.
No, we played really good teams. Hopefully this scheduling in the non-conference pays off, particularly in this game, because I think we've played better teams than, we've got a stronger strength of schedule than anybody else in our league right now. So, but you can't just play them, you got to learn from them. So we've played the teams. We've learned what we need to work on. We've been trying to work on it. we got to get better at it. They're so, we had a long talk with our analytics company yesterday on these guys. They're the 6th most efficient team in pick and rolls, so elite pick and roll team. 7th most efficient team in the country in once you get an offensive rebound. So while they're not like top 20 in offensive rebound rate, they're 7th when they get an offensive board at scoring it like points per chance after an offensive rebound. So we got to keep them off the glass. That's been a major problem of ours, our defensive rebounding. This is a team that, even though they don't get as many as like in Arizona or even in Kentucky or whatever do, they score it super efficiently once they get it. So we can't afford to give them more boards. And then they turn people over. So we got to take care of the ball because their points off turnovers going the other way are really high. Yeah, no, look, we got a great start to conference play, getting the win against Kentucky. I think first time in school history we won 4 straight against them. So
correct.
Really good game. Started 1-0, but I told the guys today, like, you can't win a league championship if you're not going to go on the road and win games. You win your home games, you go 500. So we got to go on the road and win, and we get the best team in the league on the road right out of the gate. Beating them would go a long ways because we're going to be competing with them for a league championship at the end of it. If we could beat them at their place, we'd have the tiebreaker. We'd give them a loss. We get a win, and it's a road win. You're going to have to go win road wins to win a league championship. So, and we're banged up right now. So we weren't able to practice quite as hard or as competitive maybe as we're used to on a Monday after a Sunday off and don't play till Wednesday. But, you got to be smart. We had to get guys healthy. So we got work in. We got better, but not as much competitive stuff as normally we would. So we're going to have guys mentally ready to go Wednesday. And we're headed up there tomorrow right after practice. We drive up, and then it's a late game. It's a different place to play. Anybody that Alabama fans that can slide in an extra ticket or two and get in and support us. So we've had great crowd support up there before. I'm sure Vandy's going to have really good home support with how well they're playing, being 14-0 right now. But big game for us coming up Wednesday.
This isn't just a race, it's the race. 500 miles of glory, a million memories, one place. That's what we love about the Daytona 500. You gotta see it to believe it. Secure your experience now at Daytona500.com.
As Coach Oats and Chris Stewart talked about, next up is Alabama and Vanderbilt coming up on Wednesday night as that starts our week of programming across the network. 7 o'clock will be the airtime coming up for the Crimson Tide and the Commodores. That 8 p.m. tip-off in Nashville for Alabama men's basketball. And then we'll be busy on Thursday with Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR at 2 o'clock, featuring conversation with Carly Weathers of the Alabama women's basketball team, plus some reaction as well from what else is going on around Crimson Tide athletics. And then later that night, hope you can join us for women's basketball, Alabama against Kentucky. We'll hit the radio at 5:45 with our pregame coverage. Don't forget you can watch the basketball booth cam as well, not just for that game on Thursday against Kentucky, but on Saturday for the men's game against Kentucky. We hit the air at against Texas. We hit the air at 6 o'clock for men's basketball against Texas for that 7 p.m. tip-off. And again, we'll have the basketball booth cam presented by NASCAR streaming live on all of our social media platforms. Then next Monday, Hey Coach at 6 p.m. from Baumhauer's in Tuscaloosa, and I'll be with the women's basketball team. We'll be traveling to Missouri. 5:45 will be the start time for Alabama against Mizzou in women's basketball. For more information, make sure you follow us on all of our social media platforms, plus hit subscribe so you never miss anything on all of your favorite social media platforms, especially hit subscribe on YouTube here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. It's going to wrap up a very busy first edition of the year of Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. Huge thanks to London Jemison of the Alabama men's basketball team for joining us in studio. Appreciate the time as well of Nate Oats last night at Hey Coach with Chris Stewart at Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Thanks as well to Ethan Carabin, very busy for this show. Not only produces all the interviews you see here inside our Advantage Center podcast studios at the LLH Healthcare Advantage Center, but also runs the booth cam for basketball and, of course, produces this entire show. Plus, Hey Coach, very busy Ethan Carabin working hard in the new year. We appreciate Ethan and everything he has done for this show. Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. This is Roger Hoover saying thanks for watching this edition. We'll be back with you coming up on Thursday at 2 o'clock for another Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. But until then, have a great Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll see you again on Thursday. Roll Tide, everyone.